Would anybody have any information to give to Tobias beforehand on what they would want from this guy if we ever ran into him?
Well, weren't we just supposed to talk to him?
Yeah, but about what specifically would any of you
The
guys
prophecy,
like to?
Obvi.
The prophecy.
Yeah, all we really know is the prophecy.
We're live, by the way.
Oh my god.
Oh, we're
Hi,
live?
internet.
The prophecy.
Oh, hello.
Didn't see you there.
The prophecy.
The prophecy.
The prophecy is what brings us here tonight on another episode of Miss Warden Shroud. Welcome to our misadventurers, Ray.
Oh, am I doing introduction right now?
Taylor.
It's me. Hello.
Steven.
I almost did a spit take out of my mouthful of water when you just said Ray. Just dropped it. I almost spat all over my monitor. Holy shit. Whew.
Sam.
Very funny.
What's up?
And Will.
Hi, I'm Tobias.
Clap.
We did it.
What was
And I am your humble, miserly dungeon master.
Oh, no. You don't be hard on
I'm
yourself,
loving
man.
this energy.
He's like a little gremlin, he is.
I will be playing death tonight, so I'm being a little
Just
extra.
getting in character. Just getting in
Just a
character.
little.
I see.
He's going
I just realized that because I can't hear the sound for it, it won't be on the stream.
awkward.
That's funny.
So you guys can go wacky with it.
It's just for us then.
Welcome everybody. Last episode. Why don't we tell the listeners a little bit about what brought us to where we are?
How did we start? I guess it was.
Lucky Trails.
Is that the first thing we did?
Well,
Technically, the first thing was a flashback.
Yeah.
are we saying the first thing we did getting, like, how we got here from getting to Darkon? Because that's a lot.
The story till now.
Yes.
It's a flashback episode.
It's a beach
No,
episode.
It's one of those anime episodes that's just recap.
It's filler because there's
It's
not
filler,
enough,
baby.
so we're working on the real stuff.
We know that our heroes have been in Darkon for some time, trying to save this dread domain from its own destruction, from the Shroud that is slowly engulfing it. The party had started in Martira Bay, but forced to leave to continue their journey, looking for clues, yet carrying the crown of Darkalis Rex, one of the regalia of Rex. Powerful magic artifacts that may be needed to save this dread domain. They got a guide in Lucky Trails, as mentioned. We got a glimpse of Sully's background and history at the beginning of the session. Y'all traveled into the mists themselves, only coming out to take shelter, seek harbor at a fortress whose name do you remember?
Did the fort have a name?
I'm looking through my notes now. Please hold.
It was a Shrouder holdover.
Sorry, I just
Shrouded Keep.
I just scrolled.
I was
up
looking
and
at it too, and I just didn't say it. I'm like, I see a name right here, but it says a bridge or port. It doesn't. Anyways.
I just scrolled up and saw the old boat and switch.
Yeah, there was like a port you guys had to like tie your boats off of before you kind of climbed stairs into this this keep. Where we met Porcelain, a strange being who was trapped in a magic circle here. The party so kindly released.
Despite all odds.
We're just good people.
No big deal.
And of course, nothing bad could happen because of that choice.
Duh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
Honestly.
boy.
Nothing bad about being friendly. I mean, oh.
So the party, along with Lucky Trails, Armand, and certainly, last but not least,
let's
Grimalkin, the
go.
zombie cat.
Little guy.
The sweetest boy.
Just a little fella.
Camped out, or most went to sleep for the night, except for Tobias and Olin, who were awake for the approach of death. Hearing Death play the violin
He's so talented.
from downstairs, party made their way down. Was that actually the same one I was playing?
I don't
No.
remember.
I think he was playing the. Yeah.
This is
This
the one
one.
I was
Yeah,
playing.
this
There
one.
it is.
All right.
Hearing Death play the violin, you went down to greet him.
He's so talented.
And I believe the last exchange, if I'm not mistaken, was you had said, "We've been waiting for you," and Death said that he had been waiting for you far longer.
Oh, you do a disservice to Tobias's funny little shadow gambit, in which
Yeah. And then Hoot Nanny.
Oh,
Hoot
yeah.
Nanny, and then I summoned my
Right.
shadow clone.
Awakening the party. That's right. You
And the-
were speaking through your shadow clone. Okay.
And the silent horn of alarm was also blown, so Buster roused the crew and be like, "All right, things are bad. Let's go. Come on."
Yeah. So, Death stands before you. Actually, we have Tobias's shadow. Olin, were you hiding with Tobias, or were you kind of more out in the
we're both
open?
invisible, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're both invisible.
I'm not hiding though. I'm just standing next to Tobias, but invisible.
We did roll some nice stealth checks. That's all I remember.
Yeah, because I'd put on pass without trace.
Oh, that's right.
Right on.
But then we figured Death probably has true sight, so it doesn't matter. But
Perhaps. So Death's hair is kind of a mix of there's like you could tell it was once like all red, but is now more white than red. I actually do have a token.
Yay.
That I have easily ready because I am so well prepped and I'm not at all uploading
Oh,
right
God
at
damn
this
it.
moment.
Oh, why'd you make him hot?
He's always so hot.
Yeah, so Death, pale skin, his eyes are like fully red. There is a aura of death. And he kind of stopped playing to make his introduction here. But Olin and Tobias, even from where you are, you can smell this death on you. I want to know a little bit about what Tobias and Olin are feeling in this moment.
Tobias is definitely. Tobias is. He's not shaking in his boots, but he's like. He's getting this weird feeling, as if he's. I don't want to say met him before, but he's just getting this weird. He's just getting this weird feeling that this guy seems a lot more familiar than he should be.
yeah, so he looks like the guy who built Olin on the table, basically, right? Too.
No, the one that built Olin on the table was Aslan,
Aslan, which, yeah.
who
Said
is a
looked-
different Dark Lord.
But they said they did look kind of familiar. Well, yeah, that makes sense. But or the magical signature was similar. I guess they didn't have to look the same.
Yeah.
I think Olin is not like not afraid, but definitely interested because of their own sort of undeath. So it seems, it's funny. It's like funny, I guess. In a world where there's like so much death, and then there's like ghosts and people who've been reincarnated and reborn, like Olin. I think Olin is sort of like, what do you do? Is more like inquisitive about what the actual role that death has in this world is.
Indeed. So death turns. Facing the shadow, and death turns and looks, disregards the shadow after a moment to look towards the direction in which Tobias and Olin are hiding. You get the sense that death is not looking like necessarily. You don't get the sense that death can see you as much as he knows like you are there, if that makes sense. As he looks towards you and he says, "Is this how you greet guests, shadows?"
I also made you a banner.
Oh, I do like that. That's very nice.
And then Olin also, no pretense, doesn't like pretend not to be there, just immediately. It's like, no, of course not. We also make banners.
You see Death turns behind him. Playing the whole time might feel really dramatic. Maybe that's all right. He turns behind him and says, Festra, they're here. You can come in. And you see a creature walk inside. Standing about 8.5 feet tall, broad-shouldered, blue skin. You see this old Oni woman. She's ogreish in appearance. She has like these two like short horns. She has like this long cloak of like made of all these different patches of various cloth. And you see she has like this massive book in her arm that like if like a normal sized person were holding it, it would take them both hands and like it would be a struggle. But she has it like wrapped in like one of her arms. And she kind of like steps in, looks around, and gives like a little wave of her hand.
I love her.
And then like looks around and sees like a bench in the corner and goes and sits down and opens her book, flipping through to a page, and you see her like pull out a quill as if to write.
What was her name again?
Festra.
Festra.
I guess I'll pop out of invisibility. I don't know. Seems rude now.
Do you like punch a wall?
Oh yeah. How do I drop invisibility if it's his cast?
Yeah, you just have to do something action-wise.
Yeah. Just kicks a rock.
Invisibility breaks. Tobias, do you stay invisible?
I do for now.
Okay.
But I do silently like creep around and just like stay towards his back.
Yeah. Death sets his violin down on the ground, and like kind of like motions towards you, like as he does it. But he like stares down at the violin as he talks, and he says, bringing a piece of my brother to greet me will not invoke any generosity from me, if that was your goal.
I suppose it never hurts to try to be courteous.
You are Olin.
I am.
And if I'm not mistaken, that means that one is Tobias.
Where is he pointing? Is he pointing at Tobias?
He's pointing in the general direction of Tobias.
Yes, that is. But I suppose it wouldn't do us much good to try and hide anything from you. You seem to be well informed.
Death always knows where there is any life. You cannot hide from death. And he says, well, come, if with this banner, I assume there will be a celebration. It'll be good, kind of going out party, if that makes sense.
Going out where, if I may ask?
Well, I mean, out of existence, Darkon.
The whole realm? Already?
Well, soon.
The rest of our the rest of our party will be arriving soon, so perhaps we had best wait for them before we go into the ifs and whens of the death of the realm. I suppose, though, that you've come here because the realm is dying.
You could say that. And Death, like, approaches you, like, suddenly turns his attention to you and, like, walks very close. Almost looking, like, past you in a way as he gets, like, within your bubble of, like, most normal people. As he's kind of looking and says, oh, yes, and you have the unexpected guest. How is it having that thing inside you? Can he hear me?
I don't know the answer to that.
I cast Minor Illusion and I put a crown on the Shadow's head, the crown of Darkless Rex. And I say, hold on. What do you mean your brother?
I mean the piece of my brother that you travel with.
Yeah, I heard that
No.
part. Why?
Do you have the
Why
crown
would your brother be inside of me?
inside of you? Boy, he's not inside of you. His soul's inside of him. And he points towards Olin.
Man, that's pretty wacky. Olin looks down.
I'm already taking so many notes.
Me too.
Are you
So what does
speaking
that
then?
thing look like? And I point towards the shadow.
He kind of like walks around the shadow. He says it looks like a shadow. Come, Tobias. Come from where you are hiding.
Technically, casting Minor Illusion would have broken invisibility.
Yeah, I broke my
okay,
invisibility,
okay.
But I'm
I didn't
technically
know
still
the real
behind
life.
him, sort of.
Yeah. He waves you forward and says, come look for yourself.
Everybody gather around and look at Olin.
Get up
Oh.
in his bubble. Get up in their bubble.
Well, he's having Tobias look at his shadow.
Okay.
To not Olin. But Tobias, do you approach?
Yeah.
You see Death kind of like moves around you, and he kind of like slides a finger across your shoulders. He kind of like walks around you. Says Tobias Boone, the father that would sacrifice everything to avoid seeing his daughters. And yet you do not see whose shadow this is.
If you think that I just gave up everything just to not see my daughters, as opposed to save them, I think we have some stories mixed up.
Oh. Please enlighten me.
I have to stay away. Otherwise, that thing, or whatever is inside of it,
Mm-hmm.
will. What I was told is that it'll hurt them and everyone else. And I won't be able to control it at some point.
And so instead you risk your friends.
They can at least handle themselves.
Still not ready to see the truth, this one. And Death kind of like turns and so like motions towards Festra and it's like, I'm sorry, they let Porcelain out. I was going to introduce you, but things happen. Did you like Porcelain? And Death kind of like turns towards the two of you.
They were certainly an interesting conversationalist. They had a lot in common with me, or perhaps the other me within.
A lot in common with you indeed. A planeswalker of sorts. Yeah, you and Fester as well. Have that in common. Death like moves. I think he's just kind of like almost looks bored for a moment. He's like kicking his feet a little bit, like looking around the room, as if like waiting.
I don't know what to tell you. I blew the horn.
And then within a few moments later, the rest of the party begins making their way downstairs.
Actually, John.
I just want to see him touch
Oh.
Buster.
Actually, the entire way down, can I be looking for other exits
Of the keep?
of the keep from where we are up there? Any other exit? It could even be a window big enough for me to shimmy my little fuzzy ass through.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely like windows. If you get rope, there's several like towers that you could like theoretically climb down.
Depending on the fall length. Not worried about that. Okay.
Buster walks in the front door.
I think Buster kind of like jogs. He starts out in front, but makes an excuse halfway through. To be like, oh, come on, everyone, let's go. Slowly makes his way to the back of the group. And then as everyone kind of like busts through to like introduce themselves to Death, Buster stays behind. He doesn't like enter the doorway. He is borderline on the verge of a panic attack. And he is like slunked up against the back wall, just listening to what happens in the room. And he's just, I would like to stealth and not enter the room. I think that's kind of how Buster would take this moment, because he's been running away from death for so long that the physical embodiment of death in the living room is like, no, you're not gonna get my ass that easy. You think I'm fucking stupid? I think that's his play.
Damn it.
I'd like to stealth and not enter the room if possible. Like hang in the doorway or something, just like still listening, just in case.
Yeah, make me a stealth check.
Make a death saving throw.
I was did say make
Sure.
a death saving throw.
I don't know why that rolled. That's not true.
Oh,
mithril.
Yeah.
That's not true.
still 13 though, because that's the first
Still
roll.
13. I know. Okay, listen.
I
Well,
noticed
tried.
you.
Oh yeah,
I had
Fester's
to
large
double
size.
check.
I also know.
I'm spooked.
Buster, you okay, bud?
Just go. Just go.
Oh, you need a minute?
Go see what that wants and tell him to fuck off.
Oh, that's kind of rude.
Just
Okay, you take a minute. You get yourself
Go.
put together, and I'll go. But you should join us. But you take a minute.
doesn't reply.
Just gonna give him a little squeeze on the shoulder before going.
Alright. Rosemary, Sully, both of you make your way down.
Assume Ron stays up.
Yeah, I assume.
I thought
And
we
what-
didn't
Yeah.
wake up Armand, and we told Lucky
That's-
to hang out upstairs, so it's just the three of
That's-
us heading down.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll do it
Yeah,
right.
and Lucky will definitely is fine with staying upstairs. As you guys head down, Death is like, finally. I need all of you to get through this.
Hello.
He kind of like looks at Rosemary and he goes, ugh.
Oh,
He's-
rude. I made you a nice banner, and that was a very rude introduction.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a very lovely banner. I just have a little bit of an uncanny valley thing about you. It's very strange.
I don't even know how to respond.
Owen leans over. Did you crochet him anything?
I did, but I don't know if I want to give it to him. He's being kind of rude.
Oh, I do apologize. How's your mother?
Oh, Mother's great. She's wonderful. You know, everything is great back home, and she's just waiting for me and my sisters to get on back for the family reunion.
Well, that's disappointing to hear. I've been trying to get her for years.
Oh, she like half had a scarf taken out, and she's like wondering if she gives it to him or not. I'm conflicted in this moment.
And Sully, you see he like goes down to like get on his knees and like does a little like bow at your feet.
I'm
Oh.
so small, he has to bow down so far.
Yeah, he gets down like very low. And he kind of like goes back up to his knees and says, "You are a work of art. You've sent me more souls than all of your friends combined. And redemption is your thing. Do you truly? How does one redeem one such as you?"
I don't know, that's why I'm trying.
We're trying what?
To not kill good people, to only kill bad people.
Ah, yes, but we still need to kill. We just make sure we aim the target the right way, right?
Yes, of course.
These are the heroes my brother wants to save Darkon.
What?
So, I'm just losing my mind that he walked up to Sully and said, "A work of art," and he walked up to Rosemary and said, "Ew."
I know, I love it. I truly love it. I mean, it makes sense.
Oh.
And he says, "Where's the last one, the furry one?"
Oh, busy. Can I take a message?
Busy.
He's in the mist.
Yeah, we're in the mist, sorry.
You just missed him.
Well, that's fine. It takes all 5 of you for Theron's plan to come through, and I'm not really sure I want it to. If there's just the four of you, then, well, perhaps for the best.
So are we gonna get filled in on anything that you're talking about?
Yes, I forget you're new to this whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Darkon needs a Dark Lord. Dark Lord escapes after creating several clones of himself. No Dark Lord, no Darkon. The prison with no prisoner has no use.
Aren't you one of the clones? Did I miss that somewhere along the way?
I
So-
used to be.
Wait, how did you change?
Well, I'm so much more now, aren't I? I'm
Oh, okay.
death itself.
He dyed
So
his hair.
technically, so you got a bad bleach job, and now what you're saying is you can't take the role anymore?
Oh, I will continue my role as death forever.
But like, Dark Lord. Dark
Oh,
Lording.
I'm afraid not. I don't have the credentials, I suppose, and honestly, I'm not sure I would want the job. I'm not sure Darkon needs to exist. I'm not convinced this plan even really needs to go through. I'm not convinced that I'm even letting you leave this keep, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. I hear ya. I hand him the scarf.
Oh,
Here you
What's
go, I
this?
made that.
what's this for?
Oh, it was a welcome present. It was supposed to go with the banner.
What colors is this scarf?
It's browns and burgundies.
Well, thank you.
How thoughtful.
Is this a
Did you-
Gryffindor scarf? What is this?
Do you make one for Festra?
Oh, no, but I can get started. Let me go get my yarn.
That will not be necessary.
Oh, you know what? I might even have a spare. Hold on. Let me go through my bag. Don't you worry. Just you wait there. I'll be right back. Gonna go upstairs to go through my bag and look for scarves.
Beth will like stare at Rosemary going up the stairs and then look back at the others, like this look of like, and he's
Rosemary's
like,
gonna be a minute. Yeah.
it's almost like she's a real person. It's weird.
What's that supposed to mean?
What do you mean a
Bruh.
real person? Of course, she's a real person.
I mean,
Okay.
A real person like them. A real person
A
like
real
me.
human being, a real hero.
A real person like you. There are many types of real person.
I suppose so. But there are the soulless and those with souls, and then there is her, something in between.
In between.
So why do you know so much about every single one of us here?
Oh, well, basically, I read a book.
We don't even come from Darkon.
I look at Festra.
Festra kind of grins, like staring down as she writes, like as if feeling the eyes on her, but doesn't like look up or anything. Just continues writing.
I feel like during this whole conversation, you can just sort of imagine that Olin is like slowly sidling over to try and look at whatever Festra's writing in the book, like trying to be really inconspicuous while everybody else is having this serious conversation.
I wish I could roll a meta perception check to see if I, Steven, can see the book that lady is writing in, if it's familiar to another book that another hag was writing in a previous campaign.
Everybody roll meta perception.
Yeah.
Meta
I wanna
perception.
use- What's my perception check score?
Okay, if I get a nat 20, hold on, let me pull my dice out. If I get a
Don't-
nat 20,
What?
You gonna Beardsley
What is
this?
this bargaining?
You get a nat 20 what?
That's- that's a 1. I
Okay.
don't.
Okay.
Typical.
No
These
nose,
dice are cursed.
no nosebleeds.
Hmm.
None of these characters would recognize Vestria.
Of course not.
She's selling ashes.
Though you all do recognize the face of death. Obviously, we've touched on that. But yeah, Fester riding. And he kind of like looks over and Death is like, well, okay. I read 2 books, I guess. They're only really a couple of pages of Festra's. You're all just... You do understand that this has all been pushed and prodded together, right? Maybe not you 5 specifically, but enough pieces that Theron moved into place for his bold plan to come to fruition. And I'm supposed to help lead you along into the next part.
And what do you want to do?
We didn't know that, actually.
This was not in our mission briefing.
Yes. 5 chosen to come from Darkon, but they needed to have a train. So my brother went to, the leader of your Mistwardens, some years back, decades. Time is strange in these parts. And set upon the pieces that would create such a train to go from place to place to create an organization that might be interested in saving a place such as Darkon. And then gathering the types of souls that would be necessary to actually succeed at such an endeavor.
Sounds like a
Do you have...
smart guy.
Yeah. Owen, I'm sorry. Did you have something to say?
No.
So do you want to give us the rest of this book? The rest of the story? Or you just want to let it play out?
No, I really don't. I want to see... I want to hear it from you. Why we should save Darkon. I mean... and you see he pulls out like something from his pocket, almost looks like dust, that he goes up and then just like blows it in Olin's face. It's full of like gold dust that he blows into Olin's face. Olin, do you want to go ahead and give me a charisma save?
Oh, this motherfucker.
Yeah. Hold on.
So antagonistic this man is.
Yeah, but he's so handsome.
He is.
Do I get aura protection?
Yeah, you can get our protection. What's your charisma bonus right now? It's only 3.
3.
15.
Wait,
Which-
is it 3? Yeah, it's 3.
15.
Which I think is the DC.
Is the exact
Yeah.
the DC you needed. So you can kind of like feel the change starting to come over you before like Sully's like just the aura around Sully that kind of like grounds you guys in this way. He like letting you kind of keep this back. You could have you can also choose to fail. But
yeah. But Death will do it, and then Olin will say, "You could just ask."
You see Death looks almost disappointed. He's like, oh,
Damn.
oh, that would be flashier. Well, yes. Do you mind letting me speak to Forgotten Light? Awkward. And he kind of like glances back towards Tobias.
Yeah, then Olin just reaches into the pouch or the dust or whatever. And phoom.
Forgotten Light appears. Go ahead and describe the character.
Forgotten Light. So Forgotten Light is a celestial being, unlike Porcelain, who was kind of made of like a porcelain-looking skin and everything. Forgotten Light is basically an astral-looking, like a corporeal form, but totally almost like translucent and has like stardust running up and down the whole body, and you can see through, and there's like these glowing orbs of light where eyes would be that are like blue gold, and there's sort of this aura. And even though you can see that it's Forgotten Light kind of looks like this like totally devoid of any features, like humanoid form, but this aura sort of leaks off of them, and it makes it look like the body itself is distorted. So when you look at like the shoulder, it doesn't look whole, or it looks like it's too big, or it looks like it's shrunk in. And floating around the body are sort of for nobody would really know this except for Sully. But the like constellation tattoos that Olin has on their body, they sort of have popped out and are floating around, like orbiting the limbs and the body of Forgotten Light. So they're these like floating constellations.
Beautiful. Death like claps a little bit and runs and like grabs his like violin, beginning to like play like almost in excitement. And he says, "Ah, yes, now we can truly begin. Forgotten Light, what is your duty? What is the reason for your being? I'm Death, by the way."
Forgotten Light takes a second to study Death. Does Forgotten Light recognize Death? Do you think?
Give me an insight check for Forgotten Light.
I'll do it. Let's hit it. 19.
So Forgotten Light has not met this version of Death. Forgotten Light has met incarnations of Death through the cosmos, and can definitely tell that this being, though they may once have been like a powerful wizard or something, like has become something more, has like literally somehow tied themselves to like the dark power that is like Death itself. So like I think Forgotten Light recognizes this as like a true incarnation of Death, but does not recognize it as like one like that they have met.
Okay. Forgotten Light would respond, "It is my duty to destroy all evil. But of course you would know that."
All evil, including this one. And he like moves over to Tobias and like motioning towards the shadow. This creature inside Tobias is undoubtedly evil.
Is the shadow still out?
I assume so.
Yeah.
Hold on. Am I rolling just to you, John?
No.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, you can if you want to switch to that, but
No, I just have the 2 GM button highlighted, but I don't think it was working.
okay.
I want to do this, I think Forgotten Light feels like Forgotten Light didn't recognize this because of the Count or the Baroness at the time, but as Forgotten Light goes to pull the katana, there's sort of this pang that comes from, I think, Olin's consciousness somewhere way in the back that makes it stop, like holds it in place almost.
Ah, and what about this one? And he like you see like he kind of like dances with his violin over to Sully. Sully, how many innocents have you killed?
I feel like this is an unfair question.
How many innocents must one kill before they're evil enough for forgotten
That's
life?
one! I've only killed one innocent person, alright? The rest of them fucking deserved it.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
Let me see here. Hold on.
Still, one innocent that she admits to.
Forgotten Light again draws the sword, draws the katana, and then holds it out, and you can tell that Forgotten Light is like aiming it at the hand, and then just again holds, completely freezes.
Perhaps you're not as dangerous to my brother's plans as I first expected you to be. Will you bring Olin back? You're rather dull, to be honest.
Forgotten Light sheathes the sword, poops out of existence, and Olin pops back in.
Good show, my man. Oh, apologies. Good show. Strange being with a celestial other inside of you in which you contain.
I'd like to walk back in with 2 scarves at this point. You could just say you person, or my person.
Ugh! Oh my god.
Yeah, you're rude. I don't like you. And I walk over to Festra, and I'm gonna hold up 2 scarves and ask which one they would like. One's lavender and like a light blue, and then the other one is dark green with dark purple.
She will take the dark green and dark purple one. And you see she'll kind of like wrap it, like adding it to her like mini layers she has over. She says, thank you, I appreciate that.
Oh, you're very welcome. You have very lovely manners, unlike some people in this room.
Yes,
Sorry.
Festra kind of smiles and says, I'm only nice. To those that, well, interest me, if I'm honest. Or those that can serve my plans in the long run, or at least serve my curiosity, if nothing else.
I don't know what to say to that. Can I see her book from where I'm standing?
Yeah, I mean, she's got it down. She is writing in, language would she be writing in?
Infernal? Sylvan?
Gnomish.
She's writing in giant.
Fuck!
I
I
don't have
never
that.
take giant.
Don't have that one.
This is the second campaign that it's come up where, hey, can anyone read giant? No? Well, sucks to suck.
I always forget that giant is even a written language because I
Yeah.
always imagine giants are fucking stupid and don't write anything.
And then you remember cloud giants exist.
And then there are smart giants. Yeah, I always forget consistently.
Fuck. Well,
It always comes up.
We're the giants.
Festra kind of like glances up and up at you and says, "Oh, were you interested in a fortune from Festra?"
oh, sure. That sounds fun.
This is not good.
That will have to wait. I think until the death decides if you'll be coming with him or continuing on your way.
Oh, gosh, I thought he'd wasn't interested in anything to do with me, so I thought we could have this little conversation while he kept doing his little theatrical thing over there. You're doing great, Death.
Death is interested in you. And I'll say there can be like kind of like a side conversation.
Yeah.
Just but Death is interested in all of you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like you mean the whole group.
Well, yes, but also you and your sisters.
Oh, why?
Because just one of you is not enough.
That sounds weird.
Festra shrugs and she says, "Yes, yes, it is."
I mean, he could I could invite him. I'll invite him to the family reunion. I'm sure Mother won't mind.
Festra like almost like chokes a laugh as she like continues to write, like nodding. Yes, yes, I'm sure you would love that. Death kind of continues and just kind of like is looking a bit bemused, looking at the group. And he kind of like turns towards Tobias and says, well, Tobias, tell me, why should Darkon be saved?
Darkon is just like anywhere else. There's a lot of shitty people in it. There's a lot of good people in it. Sometimes the good people do shitty things, and sometimes the shitty people do good things. So I've never asked the question, why should something be saved? But why not? Everything deserves a chance.
Does not everything eventually die?
At the appropriate time, hopefully by old age.
What if I told you that to save Darkon you would have to commit horrible, horrible evil?
Horrible, horrible evil, eh?
Yes. And to
Coming
save
from you,
From
I
me?
think that the devil is always a liar. And you, my friend, are at least half of it.
Oh my god. Damn!
half of a
Thought
devil.
we weren't fighting him.
Yeah.
This is diplomacy.
Holy shit.
Make me a persuasion check.
Oh my
With
god.
disadvantage.
16.
Hmm. Oh, right. You don't have to believe me, though I have no reason to lie. But you understand how these places work, don't you? These prisons. What they really are to the powers that create them.
You mean a playground? Like a sandbox?
No, playground, perhaps. Not the best word. Playground more for the Dark Lords that control them, perhaps. But for the Dark Powers, it's more like a silo or a trough. Souls for the plucking to eat whenever they desire. Trapped, rehashing, reborn, dying. Just waiting to be harvested by the powers that be that control the mist.
So do powers, or do souls that die in a realm with no dark power go to you?
All come to death eventually, but currently the souls all go to one place. I help guide them when I can, but all souls go to Lichgate currently. For they know that is where they all must eventually go.
Well, I know something about housing evil. I think that most of the time, good and evil is a scale, and somebody's got to bear the burden of it to save a lot of people.
Hmm.
Who am I to say one way or the other? I don't claim to be any moral high ground.
Yes, well, imagine you wouldn't.
Holy shit! Yo, I love him. I
Every
love
one of your
him.
NPCs needs to be this fucking brutal.
Yes.
God, let it
Please.
out. Let it out more often, man.
Death, I thought I had a tongue on me. I thought I had a tongue on me.
Are you flirting with me?
That's-
Well,
with
you wish
Death.
I was, well, aren't you?
Damn it.
Oh.
I'm afraid my taste for the flesh have withered on the vine like so much over the years. But I appreciate the interest. I'm flattered. Flirting with death. Oh my god.
I'll change it. I'll change it right now.
Change it.
I think Rosemary's just very patiently standing there waiting to ask him a question. But also sort of looking expectantly towards the doorway, waiting for Buster to come in.
You are disarming, Death. You are disarming. Olin, Rosemary,
Do you want me
Sully,
to flirt with him?
who wants to take a turn?
I just have one question.
Oh, just one.
Just one. Where do the souls... Why are the souls gathered to Lichgate? What awaits them there?
That all depends, doesn't it? But either way, an end. Whether it be an escape or down the stomach of some dark alien being. Who knows? You could save Darkon, it's true. Save a few thousand souls to live out maybe even a few lives before Dark Power comes and plucks their soul away. But what would happen if Darkon was to collapse fully? Too many souls at once for the Dark Powers to just gobble up. And there's a chance some souls might even be able to escape.
And who gets those souls, huh?
Hold up, let him cook.
Who would that benefit?
He shrugs and says, "It's hard to tell, isn't it?" And he turns to Rosemary, and he smiles like this big, like very fake smile.
She's giving a very fake smile right back.
He's like, "Yes, you had a question."
Oh, yeah, I got a couple. First and foremost, would you like to come to the family reunion? Because I heard you wanted something to do with my sisters.
Well, yes, dear. I'm not really
Okay.
interested in just one of you.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I don't know why you want my sisters, but,
I agree. It's weird.
and you're not given any context. All right. Well, that's on you. That's the person you are. The other question I had was, isn't there just a way to get rid of all this gosh darn mist?
A way to get rid of the mist.
Well, yeah.
He kind of turns and says, she's pretty smart.
We know.
Perhaps you are some of the. Well, I'm not sure how your mother really split it up. How do you slice a soul? She kind of like looks, like he kind of like walks around Rosemary, like examining you up and down, but not in this way of like checking you out, but like almost like he's looking at like a
Like a
museum
science
piece.
project.
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know what you mean by splitting a soul.
We're both science projects.
We are. We're both science projects.
I feel like Zaylen probably would have tried that himself, a way to escape a long time ago if he would have thought about it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, well, you must realize that you are not. You know, sometimes you have memories, right, that aren't yours.
What? No, I mean, you know, sometimes I hear things. Mother said that's just ghosts, though.
Ah, well, what is a ghost but a friend of death? And you see, like, Death
Oh no.
reaches forward and grabs you, like, by the head, Rosemary, and, like, pulls you forward to give you, like, a kiss on the forehead.
What the fuck? Oh, hey, buddy, consent is a thing.
And unless you stop him, he just goes in and does it, and there's this,
I think she's too shocked.
He's gonna kiss a ghost into your head.
Oh no!
There is this flash.
Oh no. Stop.
We're about to have one hell of a flashback, kiddos.
I'm sweating.
We see what looks like Rosemary. There is looks like a group of people, like almost like a military unit, a group of soldiers, though of Fey flavoring, like several elves. We see a familiar face in Nameless wearing like a mask, having like this large paintbrush on their back, and like several other like soldier adventure types with kind of like strange weapons. Nameless, we see this receive redacted walking towards Nameless, and Nameless kind of like bows a little bit and says, your father was looking for you. He wanted to give you something before we left.
I think she kind of freezes because half worried about what he's going to say to her, and half like, do I really have time?
I think Nameless like sees you kind of like battling, and places a hand on your shoulder and says, "Go. I've got everything's packed up. We've gone through the list multiple times.
All right,
It'll be fine."
Go through the list once more. I'll be right back. This will take no time.
Yeah, you see, she kind of like sighs, nods, pivots around.
Make sure everyone else goes through their lists.
We follow Redacted through into thick forest. The forest almost looks like cavernous at times with how like old and ancient these trees are, with like brush and stuff going at like growing at strange heights, crisscrossing across the trees, creating like these kind of shaded areas, and it is like a shaded glade in which they step, and we see a figure. What appears to be an elfin man, kind of a pale gray skin, pointed ears, dark hair. He's wearing these kind of like traveling clothing, but there's like little trinkets all over, like lots of little like handmade crafted trinkets just kind of like dangling and ringling off of him as he moves. And he's wearing a bandana, like a black bandana around like his eyes, covering his eyes. Um, as you enter the glade, he's kind of like sitting on a stump, almost as if in prayer, until you enter the glade. And these two people, like looking at them, we see this person who looks like Rosemary, in all the ways that count. Hair's a little different. She carries herself a little differently.
I'd say probably more gracefully than Rosemary.
Yeah. But very obviously human, who has come to meet her father, who looks absolutely nothing like her. And so he kind of like steps forward and he says, "If you come to see me at last, daughter."
Sorry, I made you wait so long. I didn't know if I'd have time. She's like not looking up. She's very embarrassed.
He walks over and kind of like just kind of like opens his arms and says, "A hug before you go."
Obviously, and yeah, she'll run and hug her dad.
Yeah, he kind of like squeezes her, his clothes kind of like jingling a little as he squeezes. And he says, I made you something. And he turns and like reaches into his bag and he pulls out this knit scarf that he takes and like wraps around her neck and says, "It gets cold the further south you go. You'll need it."
When I get back, we're gonna actually sit down and you're gonna teach me how to do this.
Of course.
She'll wrap it around her neck.
And you see he's looking at you. He knows you're leaving. You can see like tears welling in his eyes. And he says, "I can't help but fear that you going into these woods will lead to you being lost to me."
Well, that can't happen. If I get lost, I'll just end up back with you, right?
Yes, I am the Forgotten Prince, the Prince of the Lost. I am the one who the lost always come to. So I guess it'll be good if you get lost. I need you to come back to me. You hear?
I will. I promise. I always do.
You see, he sighs and says, "All right, Dill Pickle, be safe." And with that,
Give him another big squeeze.
and like mists cover up this scene as they like hug one more time, and we kind of like Death pulls away. We kind of get like the POV of just like Death's lips like as he like pulls away.
I've heard about assaults giving you PTSD, but assaults reminding you of previous soul PTSD is new. This is haunting. What is happening?
I think Rosemary stumbles away, shocked, terrified. And then I think she just runs out because she just saw a ghost and she has to go find Buster.
Not very stable, is it?
Who was the ghost? What ghost did you see? Redacted? I'm pressing enter on the message that I was theory crapping up until things got intense. Fuck.
So, as we are, I should clarify. Well, maybe I shouldn't.
Does everyone see that?
They don't see the scene. They just see Death like
Okay.
lean in, kiss you, and like that effect. I think
Okay.
they see like you obviously remember something, but it is not shared amongst the group. Oh, sorry. I just unlocked some powerful memory. I'm not even quite sure what it was, but I think it was a doozy.
God.
Can you do that for everyone?
Unlock memories. I suppose, as long as there are souls attached to the memories, powerful emotions. Is there a memory you want to see, Olin?
Oh, there is. I want to see my soul's last.
So quite a bit. I'm not sure how effective it will be. But for you, my former brother, I shall aid. And he kind of like reaches forward, and you see he kind of like licks his hand and then slaps it on your like forehead.
What is it with him and saliva?
That's where the memories live.
Well, why didn't Olin get a forehead kiss too? I'm mad
Yeah.
about this.
Come on, you gotta give the homies forehead kisses.
Gotta kiss your homies
tall.
goodnight.
Olin is tall. That's
Okay,
Yeah,
ask
Olin's
Olin
very
to lean forward. Think they wouldn't?
Get up on a block.
You telling me death can't levitate?
Yeah, I think there is a moment where he kind of like starts to lean forward and he's like, "Ah," and, like just reaches out.
Bop.
Oh, this is not one I was prepared for.
Oh no.
I'm sorry.
No, I dig it. The day before, you Theron, you find yourself standing
I
What?
on a
Okay.
balcony.
You motherfucker.
just had a theory earlier in this session too.
You find yourself like overlooking. You see, there is like this magical storm taking place like on the horizon that is kind of covering up a lot of the view from where you stand. Below you, you can kind of see the city built into the mountain, overlooking this kind of wasteland of just like beat to hell ground leading off into the distance. And you're standing on this balcony, and a robed figure steps out beside you. He's about he's a shorter man. He stands about 5'5". He walks out. He has white robes. Skin covered in tattoos. And he hands you like a flask.
Mhm.
And says, well, I've got the bodies that we needed. I have the spells outlined like you said. I have the ember. I have the inks. And you've waited some time now to tell me which soul will be the one that I can bind to actually manage this influx of magic and power, my friend. So I'm hoping you will enlighten me. And if you need some guidance, I'm just gonna let you like, or maybe I should play Theron since this is the old soul actually.
lest anything gets.
How do you feel about it, Taylor?
I don't know. It's an interesting conundrum.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um.
I think I'm down to mess around with it a little bit.
All right. If you need some guidance, I can help you. But you
Okay.
kind of know the outcome of Theron's plans.
Mm-hmm.
Those memories feel hazy in this moment. But you know that this is your last day alive after hundreds of years.
So this person asked, which would be the best vessel for the soul?
Which soul
Which
will
soul
actually be inhabiting the
will
vessel?
be inhabiting the vessel? I guess it's mine. I guess it's there. my own soul will inhabit the vessel.
You see the man looks like somewhat surprised and shakes his head, spits, and says, "It's fine if you want to waste your soul, friend. You know I will bind this magic to my power. You will be my golem." And Theron, like, you already know. You put this magic together.
This whole thing together, right?
Yeah, Haslin is insanely talented wizard. However, you were once a Zalen Rex, one of the oldest, most powerful red wizards of Thay. You have no doubt that Haslin's bonds will not keep you bound in this new vessel. Or at least what's left of you.
I think there's zero doubt that I will be able to wrest control when necessary to make sure that everything goes as is planned.
Haslin grunts. You're bold to tell me that. I will make sure my magic wards are even more powerful now. You know that, right?
Well, it'll be a fun challenge, if nothing else.
I hate how you always sound like you're the smartest man in the room. I look forward to bringing your soul down a peg. And Haslin, like, turns around and stomps off, leaving you to your view. And we kind of, like, return back to the keep. Death looking a bit shaken.
Olin, I think, also is perturbed, but notices that Death is also shaken and says, "Not what you were expecting either."
You see Death, like, thinks for a moment and says, "You're touching your soul. It feels like it should be more familiar than it is, but it's so warped and changed by not only Haslin's magic, but your life that you've lived, the connections you've made. You are not Theron, even if your soul once was. You are an amalgamation of this magic, your experiences. It's still strange. It's like looking at an echo of my brother."
Well, the longer an echo goes, the quieter it gets.
But let me ask you, Olin. I did not get the chance to ask dear Rosemary, why should we save Darkon? why should we not just let the Shroud take it over? It's the natural order of things. All things must come to an end.
Even if all things must come to an end, they can be reconstructed. There's no more proof than myself and your brother. Who are we as mortals to stand up to the passage of time, to what will slowly and surely destroy us all? But then again, who are we not to? Who are we but actors in our own play? If we want to stop it, perhaps that is enough reason in its own. Darkon may fall, but I don't think any of us are interested in that happening just yet. And that is perhaps reason enough.
Give me a persuasion check. And you can have advantage, because there's something you said that kind of like really resonated with Death.
I bet there is, John. Let's see here. So, as we know, I'm famously charismatic.
You got this. I believe in you.
Thanks. If I roll a 20, I'll lose my mind.
Spring break. I believe in you.
Oh, so close.
That was really fucking close.
You know, I'll take my inspiration. I'll roll another one.
Okay.
Why not?
Let's go!
19.
Inspired.
Inspired.
He kind of like looks at you a moment. You see, he looks thoughtful and says, "There are some things that you share in common with my brother, but just the good parts, I think. Just the good parts." And he kind of steps back and says, "A gift to my brother, perhaps, if I do this." Turns towards Sully, the last one in here. "And what about you, Lady Death?"
Lady Death. No.
It's a badass name.
That is. You might need to update your title.
Oh no.
Oh no. We killed her!
Choking on my own spit. There are just too many innocent lives to let Darkon be extinguished.
It's for the innocent that we should
Yes.
save Darkon.
And you know, the people that are bad deserve a chance at redemption too.
The souls that recycle through Darkon, do you think you can live so many lives and not be a bad person through some of them, not do horrible, unforgivable acts?
I think there are souls that can be good through and through. I don't think that it's predetermined that an endless soul should become bad.
And you believe that any creature is worthy of redemption?
Yes. I couldn't preach otherwise. I literally killed an innocent person and I've been trying to redeem myself since.
Death like reaches out, grabbing your hand and like twisting it up. And you can feel Hollow shifting in your arm as if like trying to almost get away from Death.
Uh-oh.
As Death like twists your hand around, pointing to like what is now just like a thin line on your hand, and says, "What about this creature? Is it worthy of redemption as well?"
I was really hoping that you wouldn't bring him up.
I see the doubt in your eyes already.
None of us know about Hollow, right?
mean, I think you've all probably heard her mouth talking at some point or
Yeah.
another.
But we never like explicitly. We've never been introduced.
No,
We've never had a formal introduction, a dinner party.
he's not really the type that I can introduce to people. Okay, he's kind of like incredibly murderous. But is he even of this place? What's the counter argument to this? I'm having you put me on the spot and now I don't know what to say.
He's not of Darkon, but if you fight for redemption and believe in the redemption of all things, and yet I see it. I see in your mind you want nothing to do with this creature. You want it cast from you. Irredeemable.
I don't think that it's irredeemable. It's just I'm not gonna be able to redeem this thing. It's clear. It's been with me my whole life. It needs somebody with a bigger heart than mine.
And what are your oaths as Miss Paladin of Redemption?
Oh shit. What?
I was actually going to tell you
Shut
that.
up!
Make sure you had your oaths up and ready.
Ready? I don't even know where to find them. God damn it!
Did not study for the test.
I didn't study for this at all.
Wow, don't even have your own oaths written down somewhere?
I've got to play for this. Sully lists off her oaths.
She's gonna
Hell
fail.
yeah.
She's gonna fail her pals this year.
Just because you don't know it
Doesn't mean the character
doesn't
doesn't.
mean the character does.
Yeah, exactly. Sully lists off her oaths flawlessly, without a hiccup, without any stitches or anything. Just bam, bam, bam.
Alright, so monologue it.
Love it.
No, you don't have to read the whole thing.
John,
Got
you
him, dude.
asshole.
So, Sully mentions peace, violence is a weapon of last resort, diplomacy, understanding, a path of long-lasting peace, innocence, all people begin life as an innocent state, and it's their environment or influence of dark forces that drives them to evil. Setting an example, patience,
Yeah,
wisdom.
Sully hasn't been very patient, has she? I gotta work on that.
You strive to live up to
Part
your
of the
tenets.
process.
Yeah. You kind of like go through your tenets. And so you feel, as you said, well, every creature can be redeemed. Some are so far along the path of evil that you have no choice but to end their lives for the greater good, and you believe Hollow to be such a creature.
Yes.
There are several of those creatures in Darkon. You could abandon Hollow to a place like this, destroy a world dying, then no one would ever have to deal with it.
I just said there are too many innocents in Darkon to let Darkon die. I'm not gonna sacrifice all the innocents in Darkon for this thing.
But what if you will have to sacrifice some of the innocent to save all of the innocent?
I'll cross that bridge when I come to it.
I believe Death showed up just to give us the fucking trolley problem. Jesus.
Just someone turn off the trolley. Just I don't know.
Hit the brake. Go in reverse. Can't believe
Just
no
get
one's
up
ever
off
thought of
the
that.
rails. Just what the fuck?
Give me a persuasion check, Sully.
Oh god.
Nice. Those some good rolls. You see, Death looks thoughtful and looks and says, "I'm afraid I need to talk to Mr. Slyfoot." did you bring him down to me?
It's pretty much at that point. Rosemary goes back there, starts hyperventilating. Buster has this thing of like, my own problems don't fucking matter anymore. Someone to care for. Don't think about it. Calm down, Rosemary, and say like, it is okay. Get behind me. I will take care of this. Do not worry. He cannot hurt you. I strap my shield to my arm that much harder. The face of it is no longer this jovial, smiling face that is in the illustrations. It is now like this borderline screaming, angry, but also like screaming in anguish, like terror face that Link makes whenever you put the masks on Majora's Mask, whenever his face is like breaking out of the pain. It's one of those. Borderline between like fear and like running away. He has his shield up, like just underneath his face, and his mace drawn as he like walks out around the corner. He's like, "All right, you've had your fun. You've said what you've come to say. You've affected us enough already. Speak your piece and leave us be." I walk out of like whatever hallway into the room. Rosemary behind me. If you come out,
Yeah, Rosemary
not,
would
but,
stick close to Buster because Buster keeps the ghosts away, so she needs to be
Yeah.
by him.
Death strides towards Buster. You believe you can banish death with a command?
Buster does in this moment hit his shield, and in knowing full well that this will not do what he wants it to, uses channel divinity to turn undead. He will do this knowing it's a foolish action, but mostly just using it to like embolden himself. Like I've got my words, I've got my cause, I've got belief in myself. Fuck off, death. Fuck you, death. You can't scare me, god damn it. Even though he knows it's not gonna work to get rid of him. But in so doing that, he says,
Do I have to roll for that?
"I'm undead." You aren't technically, aren't you? I'm like on the other side of the room. I don't know how big the room is, but I just entered. Depending on where you guys are.
You can aim it away from.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
I have my
Do I
Olin
have to
filter
worry
on.
about that?
Come on, dude. No way. Not you too, Dill
No,
Pickle.
you don't
I'm
have to worry
joking to
about
be
it.
funny.
He's undead. He's undead. I'm undead. Is there any more undead around here I should know about?
You see, like, you do this, and Death immediately pivots on his feet, like, oh, and like begins like running away, like, I better get away. Is he
Also
like?
has a shield covering his face, but he chuckles a little.
As he
Those
kind
are
of
the
like
things for slipstick.
moves, like, as far away from you as he can, within like that 30 feet range.
Yeah.
Before he kind of turns back to you and says, "Oh, so scary." The big rabbit man. I've never really. I read all about you, but it was never really clear to me. Is the Goblin Prince part of your madness? Like, did you go mad of boredom and had to come up with this wild backstory to make your life actually interesting?
It all runs together at the end of the day. You should know.
I should.
You're not fooling anyone with that part.
You see Death kind of like smirks, and he like runs a hand. He stops playing, dropping his fuck, what's the rod? I
Bow.
forget what the bow,
Bow.
yeah. The
He
bow
drops,
to the
he drops
ground.
the whole ass violin.
Yeah, and he takes a hand,
Dude, those are expensive.
and he
I know.
rubs like through the white part of his hair, and you see him just like kind of pull away huge chunks of this hair, like leaving this like massive bald spot like on one side of his head that he picks
Ooh.
up and like drops.
That was a bad bleach job.
That's not sexy.
Horrendous.
And
That's
then
what
he
happens when you bleach your hair too many times in one day.
Oh.
he just kind of like waves his hand, and then the spot like looks like it did like a few moments ago, though his hair still like lays on the ground. He says, I suppose age does always catch up with us, eh? You've run from me for quite some time, haven't you?
I plan to do it for significantly longer.
So you wish to save Darkon and still escape with your life afterwards?
The plan was in the air. Still is.
And why, oh, Mr. Slyfoot, should Darkon be saved? Doesn't death... You come from a court. Death is the natural state of all things. All things must come to an end. If we had every realm that was like a Buster K. Slyfoot, striving to stay alive as long as it could, why, the Astral Sea would be full of places just dying slowly. There's a beauty to fighting against death, but...
And yet, these foolish, at times, aberrations against death in the natural order, in so by staying alive, there is much to be done, much to be saved, many to take care of, life to be lived in between the gaps of darkness and void. You do not keep going for yourself. You go for others. Darkon as place, sure. Grand theory with empty seat should no longer exist due to rules. The mist is byproduct. It is like rot. It is like your hair falling out of head. But the people that live on Darkon, that are perfectly innocent to this whole thing, they should have the ability to live, to allow their lives to reach natural end. They may be food for these gods or whatever eventually, but these are still lives. These are still experiences that must be taken care of, if not for Darkon itself and for the ants on its back. This is the natural order. This would not be part of natural order if it was not somehow coming to existence anyway. If Realm was to show up for Dark God to get his kicks off or to live like other Dark Realms we've experienced, like the nerd vampire one, otherwise they would be fully empty. There would not be need for these lives to have their own stories, their own losses, their own gains and experiences. It is wrong to end those. But if it is time, if there is nothing we can do, then we mitigate losses. Save as many people as we can. Let the natural order take over. But to play its hand for somebody like you to get, I don't know, whatever you want from your side of it, it feels a little stacking the deck. It is like congressperson voting on regulation on companies gaining profit. You gain from this. It's a conflict of interest.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check, Buster.
Apparently, the Fae Court is a lot like Congress.
Yeah, there's a lot of
There's bureaucracy everywhere.
yeah,
You
it doesn't
know?
matter how far you go.
Oh,
Oh my god!
I so
Use that
desperately wanted it to be a
inspiration.
1. I wanted it to be a 1 though.
Mm.
You haven't rolled a single one.
9's pretty bad.
I haven't, but if there was going to be a narrative moment for there ever to be a 1, that would have been it. But I will use my inspiration just for kicks.
All right, roll it after. We have to take a new roll, even if it's lower.
Hey, that's what I rolled.
That's what you rolled.
You see Death, like, kind of like hears you out. He kind of sighs. Says, I don't think you understand what the cost will be. But that's fine. And you see Death, like, takes a step forward and, like, disappears. And he reappears behind you, Rosemary.
Oh no.
Nothing personnel, kid.
He just kind of like takes a step and like kind of vanishes and reappears. No mist, no poofs or anything like that. It's just almost like space bins there, and says,
Scared.
"And you, Rosemary." Sliver of a soul walking around in a copy of your original body. I'm sorry, it just looks very strange.
I switch and intercede, like to put Rosemary behind me and to still hold the pose, like in between.
Yeah, but why should we save Darkon, Rosemary?
Well, gosh, I mean, you said getting rid of the mist was a smart idea, so doesn't getting rid of the mist kind of save Darkon? And if Darkon keeps on going on, don't you just get to keep your job?
To make the mist go away, you'd somehow have to ground Darkon into the plane in which it came from. It'd be nearly impossible.
Okay, but nearly impossible isn't the same as impossible.
I'm not even sure the kind of magic you would need for that. You would, at the very least, need some sort of token from the plane in which Darkon came from.
Okay, well, you just gave us a start. And if we just find someone who knows even more than you do, I think we can do it.
That is not the plan my brother has put in place for you, but...
Oh gosh, well, I don't really know your brother. I know the job that Mother gave me, so I'm gonna keep doing that. And, if I can maybe help Darkon either keep going on or get rid of the mist all the way, that's good by me.
Death kind of nods. Give me a persuasion check.
Oh god.
Also,
Do I have to?
for the love of Faye, can we stop speaking in pretense?
19!
19.
A lot of 19s.
What's a
split.
19?
Also, can you stop
19.
calling me a sliver of a soul? It's really rude. I'm a whole person as far as I know.
Can we all stop talking in pretense? This plan that Theron has for us. What is this plan? All the costs this will cost. What is the cost?
Oh.
Yeah,
Just
what is
tell
the
us.
cost?
He was going to tell us, but you weren't here, so we were waiting.
I was listening the whole time. I was paying attention. I have big ears.
I can only guide you to the trail. This is one thing I cannot tell you. But...
If I'm your brother, can I not give you permission?
You are not my brother. As I said at the very beginning of this conversation, bringing a piece of my brother to greet me will not invoke my generosity. I owe you nothing. You are not Theron, and even Theron I owed very little.
I still
However.
don't know who this Theron guy is. I say quietly to Rosemary behind me.
Yeah, I got no
What are we
idea
talking
either.
about?
I don't know.
You've met him.
Huh? Buddy, I've met a lot of people in my time.
Okay, can you
That's fair.
describe him?
Rosemary, you never did meet Theron.
Okay, so can you give me
Well-
any? Well,
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 what do you mean? Well, did one of my sisters meet him?
No. But I suppose you probably met him. You were just very, 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 very young. Basically as young as you can get and still meet people.
Hmm. Okay. Okay, Sam gets it. Rosemary's got no fucking clue.
ew.
Well, yes.
that's hilarious.
Yuck.
I just learned the thing and I don't know how I feel about it.
Yucky. Ew.
I'm not sure what you're...
Rosemary's got no clue.
Well, anyway, I'm not sure if you're understanding what I'm saying, but it's fine. I feel like you're... He kind of, like, turns and, like, looks at the rest of the group.
I did ask him why he kept calling me a sliver and said it was
Oh.
rude.
Why do I keep calling you a sliver? Because you are.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Okay, you see,
You're a chunk.
he takes the scarf you made him, and
Wait, you
and
better
lays,
not destroy that scarf.
and lays it out, and you see he pulls out a knife, and you see there's like little squares in this scarf.
Yeah, it's a bunch
Yeah.
of. This one's probably just a bunch of granny squares patched together. It's not one of the nicer ones.
So say each of these patches is a soul, parts of a soul. This whole scarf is a soul. You see what Mother did? And he like takes the knife, and like this knife is magically sharp, slices through the scarf within like a couple of like chunks. Now I've taken the same soul, and you see he begins like stretching the one side of it like really thin so that it can like still like wrap. He kind of like pulls the like, you can hear like ripping among like the threads.
Oh no! You won't- Oh no!
Well, yes. Well, this is what your grandmother or mother has basically done with your soul, but several more times, just slicing and stretching, putting it in each of your clones, for lack of a better word.
I'm not a clone. I have sisters.
Oh, yes. Well, putting each one of these inside your sister, stretched to fill out the body, each a slice, giving you an idea of what the full soul might look like, but neither of them being the full thing. I can look at the pattern, and I can see what it might look like, but I cannot tell what this original scarf would look like if I sliced it into 8 bits.
Wait, how many bits did you just say, John?
8?
Interesting. Why is she running to write that note down?
Listen, Sam
Guides
doesn't
others
know
to
some
gifts they
things,
cannot
all
have.
right? You're learning things as I'm learning them.
Interesting.
So we all just found out about Rosemary being a sliver of soul.
Yeah, Rosemary just
Yeah,
found out too.
and that she's a 1 of an 8.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay,
redacted,
so
I'm
wait a minute.
assuming, is the whole of the soul.
Yeah.
Her name is
You
Dill
mean the
Pickle.
pickle?
Dill
Bill
pickle.
Sorry, Tommy Pickles.
That's my father, actually.
Tommy.
Tommy.
Ba-ba.
It's his actual name.
Wow. An elf named Tommy. I love that character.
Yeah.
Tommy the Lost Prince. Or the Forgotten Prince. Excuse me.
What a fucking cool title. There's so much to talk about, guys. I'm losing my mind.
Unlike Rosemary, though, Olin and I knew everything about all the flashbacks that we had tonight. I wrote the campaign, so
I'm mad at you.
this is all my master plan.
A little bit. I wanted to be the one that was betraying the party, and it was you all along.
Damn.
Not on purpose. It was an accident.
I'm convinced that some of you still have, well, several of you, all of you, still have much growth before you succeed in your task. Fine. Shall grant you the Hammer of Death.
Man, they just made one of those.
Huh?
He'll just make anything these days.
He kind of like, before he motions, he turns to Tobias. Tobias, is the shadow still out? I think he walks up to you, like, looks between you and the shadow and says, any new thoughts bouncing around in that head, Tobias?
First off, I really wish that you would never talk about my family again.
Oh.
That's number one. Second, I'm with Buster. You just keep dancing around all these prophecies and all these ideas and philosophies, but you're not really getting at anything. People deserve to live just as people deserve to die. Things just take time and will happen in their own way. You are trying to disrupt the order of it. And whatever happened to Theron, your brother, I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out what he did to all of us. And we're going to do something about it. And whatever evil you're talking about, I'll do it myself if I need to. And somebody can have someone to blame. And then I can go disappear.
You are
And then perhaps we'll meet again. Huh?
We will meet one day, Tobias. I was just saying, disappearing, it's something you're good at after causing all the chaos.
Damn, he goes for the throat.
I'm taking jabs right now.
Fucking ruthless.
Bro.
Death is killing it, guys.
Well, at least I'm not rotting away from the inside out, eh?
I mean, I suppose it's kind of nice. It's always, I always have friends with me, if you know what I mean.
No?
Same.
Various funguses that are digesting my innards very slowly.
So why don't you just leave us this hammer of death? Give us the next step in your brother's plan. Tell us where to go, what to do, and then we'll just see how it all shakes out in the end, eh?
But first, I look over to Festra. What's your whole deal? I like you. This guy, not so much. You? What's your whole deal? I like you. Something
Death,
about you is weird.
Death kind of like walks away from the group. Festra, finishing up writing in her book, kind of like closes and stands up. She says, what do you mean?
You are traveling, presumably through the mists with death. Literal physical embodiment of concept. Existential, all coming into one being, and you're just hanging out with him, writing your novel. What's your deal? This is cool. This is strange. Are you biographer? Are you Death's biographer? Is
Ghost
that
Rider.
you get? Is you Ghost No.
Death wishes. This is gonna be hard to do German and not Russian.
I'd read it. Truth be told, I'd read it.
She says, D- Death could not afford me as a ghostwriter. I am, well, I'm mostly just curious. There is not very many opportunities to watch a realm collapse like Darkon. So I've
Pure.
come to watch.
The observer's lens of observer, purely just to see what it is like.
Yes, exactly. I'll be heading back to, I'll be traveling planes after this, and I probably head home soon. I need to check on my daughters.
Well, cool. After we get done potentially saving this place or allowing you to have your full extent of research, more than likely in these travels will see you again one day.
Festra nods and says, may it be so. I am He referred to me as a planeswalker, and this is an accurate description of me. I am sure if you keep finding yourself in the middle of events such as this, we shall very, very definitely see each other once more.
Exciting to see that happen. And then that smile and like jovial, like, oh, that's cool. Like turning back to death turns back into like scowl.
Rosemary is trying to frantically fix this scarf that he has ruthlessly ruined.
That's weird.
Mm.
Just mutilated that scarf.
Honestly, it's Sam does not like him for doing this. As a person, I am like, wow, bro, that fucking sucks. But also gonna turn to Vestra. Oh, you said something about telling a fortune or something? She's frantically fixing this scarf. She's got a crochet hook out, just like trying to fix it.
Festra's fortunes are. I'm not sure it would be very wise to give you a fortune, to be honest. But
Oh,
she kind of sighs and she says, I've offered in the past to answer 3 questions for a group. So if there is anything you would like to ask, feel free.
Wait,
give us a minute.
3 questions, huh?
Wait,
Yes.
3 questions. The book is familiar. Daughters. Wait.
I know
wait.
who Sam is well aware of who she is.
We only saw her in that market that one time. I mean, I know that she's
I'm
like this
putting
meta
the-
character.
Okay.
It's meta,
Sam
baby.
is definitely making leaps and bounds of logic and assuming who she is.
It's Morgantha.
Look, she
There's
hasn't
that-
appeared yet. is
There
all
was
I'm
that
saying.
theory. There was that theory. I don't
No,
think
but
that's true.
John
I
already
think
said
she's
it wasn't
bigger.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen Morgantha yet. And that's...
Yet.
Listen, I know it's not Mother. Anyway, it's not my mom.
Perhaps we should let
Give us one quick second.
perhaps we
Okay,
should
cool.
let Death explain his plan and think of questions.
Yeah.
Oh, is he gonna explain? He's just been over there,
Oh.
just going at the violin all wild. Look at him.
He's
No,
very
I'm
talented, though.
going to give one of you the hammer, and that's it. We're
See,
done.
Death doesn't even have a plan.
You will follow the rest of the steps of the prophecy. You will find your way to
Oh.
Castle Avernus.
Do you,
Oh,
have any
good.
more, do you have any more of the prophecy?
So what?
Oh gosh, yeah. Oh darn. We don't have the full prophecy, Death. If you could,
What?
without giving any more ghosties or anything, give us the rest of that.
The rest of the prophecy.
Yeah, we don't have the full thing. We weren't, you know.
Can I just recite what we have thus far?
Yeah.
They will bear regalia of Rex. Something, something, and then final line something like they are ancient, they are the land. This is all we have. Is that it? Is there stuff in the middle? Are we losing?
Kinda hodgepodge.
Yeah, it is difficult to follow prophecy. Well, it is also difficult to tend with the fact that you are part of prophecy.
Also,
Like-
you're not acting very friendly. We tried to greet you like a friend, and you've been nothing but rude.
Well, I'm certain the prophecy says you'll greet death as a familiar face, not as a friend.
Okay, but if you
Oh,
see a
this-
familiar face, how do you
technica-
not treat
this-
them like a
this-
friend?
You can be familiar with your enemies. This is classic fate trick.
Oh.
This is you must read very
Ooh.
diligently. I'm very familiar with this. This is
Oh my
operating
goodness.
procedure.
Who acts like that though? You Faye are so weird, Buster. I'm sorry to say it.
It is. You get used to it.
I don't think I ever could.
I'm gonna make a roll.
Oh no, he doesn't know.
Death is like, I don't remember the prophecy. Only the
Oh
line
my
about me is the only
goodness.
one I even remember.
Oh,
Of course,
So
that's the only
self-centered.
one you
Can't be
remember.
mad at that. I can't be mad at that.
so self-centered.
This was my brother's twisted plan. The prophecy my brother
Oh,
received that he thought
Which
he would
brother?
Wait, isn't this a question that we could just ask Festra?
Sure, but
Fuck. Yeah.
we can
Yeah.
ask her. We can add that
Fuck.
to the list because we only
Can-
have 3 questions.
Can this not be one of our 3 questions?
Yeah.
You're a writer. You probably know.
Yeah. You want to use one of your 3 questions to ask Festra what the rest of the prophecy is?
No,
Oh,
I
was
want
gonna
to.
start
I
making
want
a
to.
list.
I want not to use one of our questions. I just want to ask her, but it not be one of our 3 questions.
Oh,
No, it's
gotcha.
gonna be like in the D&D movie, the clip where it's they use
Oh.
the 5 questions
yes.
for the
So we
Speak
get
Undead,
5
just on dumb
questions?
bullshit.
Yeah, I was gonna
That's
say
how it
I'd like
works,
to.
right?
I'd like to
Yes.
use the first question to ask if we can not use the first question to ask the question.
No,
No, please don't.
no,
Please
no.
don't. Please don't. Olin, just be quiet.
I'm not the
That's not
face.
Rose
I've
Red.
never been the face.
Same.
Incredible.
So, turning to Festra, who is asking, I will say whatever question is being asked.
I mean, yeah, I guess Rosemary and Olin both double team. Oh, do you have the rest of the prophecy
I do.
that you could share with us? Let's tack that on there.
Im- imminently. As part of your answer to
Presently.
this question.
Fucking monkey paw ass face shit.
God damn it. I
Buster-
hate not.
Buster trained me well for this.
I hate playing a character that does not know these deals and having to word this shit
You
carefully.
can't just be nice and you have to watch your words very carefully. Yeah. Oh, just the joys of playing a naive, friendly character.
It's actually frustrating for me because I'm like, okay, so here's how we have to
You
word
know the
this,
deal.
and it's like,
Yeah,
no, I
you know the
can't.
deal. Mhm. The anti-meta gamer.
God, it's killing me.
Makes me think of the fucking how to draw an owl.
Yeah, circle and then just draw the rest of the owl.
Yeah. Write the rest of the prophecy.
Wait, don't we know where the nightworm is? Weren't we told where it is?
Yeah, the nightworm's
The
in.
nightworm is... Yeah, that's in the swamps. That's with my sister,
Past the
Basil.
swamp.
The nightworm is with Basil.
I mean, I wouldn't mind to know what the nightworm's whole deal was.
It wants its eggs. The queen told us that.
Mhm.
What? We could ask where the eggs are.
The
You're muted.
queen told us where
Oh,
the
well.
eggs are.
Where are the
Yeah.
eggs? How
The
about
queen
that?
said the eggs are in the castle. In Castle of Erdis, where Death said we already have to go.
Well, what's in the
It's in the
castle
vault.
then?
She thinks
All
it's
the souls.
Okay, well, where are the souls going? Oh.
To the castle to be eaten by a dark power. Death told us this. Listen!
Yeah, but where do the ones who don't get eaten by the dark power go? If there's
They just sit
Well,
there
there's-
waiting forever and then recycle.
there's no
Death
dark power.
told us how this works. They
that-
recycle.
That's not what he said.
That he said they can recycle, or some of them might even be able to escape before they're eaten by the dark powers.
Yeah, but there's no dark power, so where are they going?
No, there's no dark lord. There are still dark powers in the land.
Yeah, they're two different things.
They are.
Ah!
I have been writing so many notes.
And we
they
got the
don't-
rest of the prophecy.
Oh, hey.
Yes. Festra tells you that the two lines you are missing after they'll bear the regalia of Rex is a new bond forged and power born. All will end when they stand in amber. They are the ancient, they are the land.
Oh, so we're
So
gonna
one of
become the
us
dark
has-
powers?
We're gonna. Are we back in time? Are we gonna become the original dark powers?
Are we the dark powers?
Are we the baddies?
Maybe the treasure was, just us becoming the dark powers all along. Dark
A
powers were
new
inside us
bond
the whole time.
forged and power born. We're gonna make our own dark power, guys.
Okay,
Brand new.
recommendation for a question: how to get rid of mists.
Is the next question, where's the nightworm?
No, we were
Or-
fighting them.
No.
We were not fighting about it. We were discussing
we're
it.
debating.
What's the next question that you have for Festra?
It might be a good, like,
What's
How to-
Sam
how
she's
to-
talking about?
yeah, how to get rid of the mists.
Like the token, because Death said we need a token in order to get rid of the mist to moor the land back to where it's originally from.
Do you
So
think
where
that-
could we find a token of the land that it was from?
Theron would tell us what, or not
in
Theron?
order to remoor the...
Do you think Death would tell us what the original realm was if we just asked?
Ayo, Death!
I mean, he's right here. We catch his ass. Another potential question could be, where's the last peak? Because if we have the crown and the hammer, we need the robe, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
then we basically have almost all the regalia of
We
Rex.
just need to know
I'd
where
like
it
to ask
is.
something about sisters, but I don't have to. It's okay. It's better if the group gets all the questions. This is more
Yeah, I think
important.
I think we'll find out. Sister stuff.
Sister.
That's
Uh,
the-
So, second question, just so we're super clear before
Yes.
we get an answer out
Yeah.
of this,
Yeah,
woman.
John, you hold your freaking
Yeah.
horses.
A good way to phrase it would be, what is the realm that Darkon is from, and where could we find a token of said realm in which to attempt to try to re-moor it back from the mists?
It seems
That's
kind
a
of like it's.
compound question,
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of like a question and a half.
but not
I
two
mean,
questions.
It's
A question and a half is still
a
less.
token. It's a question. Where can we find the token, and the qualifier of, and where's that token from? Like, what's the name of the token?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's
Is like
mostly just asking the token, but knowing where it's from. It's kind of
Where
part
it's
of it,
from or
yeah.
where to get it? Because
Well,
it
I
could
figure if we
be.
figure out where it's from, we can get it from that location. Or it could even just be something from this location, right?
yeah, some kind of thing with a strong connection to the realm.
It could be
Yeah.
like currency from that location, even.
I would imagine that it's the token to bring Darkon back to its home realm would be on Darkon, I would imagine, unless someone took it off. But in the creation of this, like taking land and making it a
It
dark,
could even be like whatever
realm.
got us on the train. Like whatever we have to get back on the train when we're done here.
yeah, I mean,
We
it's the
might
same
already
basic
have
idea.
it.
It's true. The real token was
Was
the friends we made along the way.
Well, the token to get back on the
Token
train is
friend.
that you were given is a mist token for the train itself, which is like
Bloody
a.
ticket stub.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I like it. I like the question.
So
Even if
the
we
question.
don't know where the land was, where can we find the token to bring Darkon back to its home location? Even if we don't find out what that home plane was, we don't need to know until we get there and we're like, oh shit, we're on Exandria. Like, who gives a shit where it is? Like,
Yeah.
I don't
the
think
day,
we're
it's
allowed
just-
to use that.
for
Vestra,
us.
Cut it. Cut it.
Vestra actually opens her book for this question,
Whoops.
like turning through a few pages, and then like putting a finger down, like going down the page, and she says, "You will find the token you seek in the castle, Castle Venice."
Look at that. That's pretty nifty difty.
I see a uniform, a red robe. Marking a wizard of the land from which Darkon is from.
Oh,
Okay.
we know where it's from now.
Okay, yeah. Meta.
Meta,
Okay.
yes.
I don't know where it's from. I don't have that meta knowledge.
Oh,
The Red
Wizards
Wizards
of Thay.
Thay are from Forgotten Realms.
Okay.
So, like,
Which is where Theron
Baldur's Gate, Waterdeep,
technically
all
is
those.
from.
Which
sorta.
makes sense for that to be
Yeah.
where that is. But okay. But, I mean, our characters
Our
don't
characters
even
would
need
not.
to know that. They don't,
Yeah.
unless we've been there. I don't think we have. There's no reason for us to have been if we're only through the Dark Lands.
There is.
Okay.
Well. Actually, no, I think Vestra will just kind of like. She'll think for a moment and just kind of shake her head and be like, "Is your last question?"
Oh, yeah. Give us just 1 second. Thank
Wait,
you.
what were you thinking about? What,
No,
what
don't.
thought did
That's
you-
a question, Buster.
No, this is not for. This is not a legitimate question. I'm just curious as to what you were thinking about. Friend to friend, obviously.
Vestra just holds up a hand with like 3.
Oh, come on, buddy.
I'm afraid that it is the deal I must make for my powers.
Okay.
A funny question is just to ask to read the book. But I guess it's in
Translated.
giant, so we can't read
Yeah.
it.
No, a funny question would be like,
Can you
where's the
read to us?
spider?
Oh,
Where's-
What's he?
Where is
we
this
already
one?
know the spider's dead, though.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
poor guy.
just like some dumb.
Do
goofy
you know
question.
any other cool serial killers in the area?
Mm,
Cool
Do-
serial killers near you want to meet up.
Do you know where we can find a new apartment?
He doesn't want sex. He just wants to kill you.
Click
Hot
here
I
now.
have-
serial killer.
Fucking had a question. God damn it.
Ridiculous.
I don't know. I don't know if the robe of Rex is the token. Because if we ask where's the robe in the prophecy and it's the same answer, I'm a bit cheesed.
I'm just gonna go ahead and assume. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that.
Yeah.
How many?
I will say that like when you saw visions of Theron or whoever on the throne, they were wearing the crown, and they were wearing like robes, but they were not like red robes. They were
Oh
like
shit! Pepper was wearing red robes, wasn't she?
Yeah. All this time.
Please no, John. Please no.
coincidence.
Oh, thank God.
Originally, not though. It's not the same robes because she said that they're in the Castle of Ernest. Like that token's not gone.
No, but the robes of Rex, if they are a different item,
Do we know how
than
many?
the token.
Yeah, no, they're not.
So
red.
should we ask where the robes are since they weren't on there?
Do we know how many regalia items there are? Is it just the 3, or is it 4?
You were told
3.
there was 3.
For some reason.
Ooh, you were
There were 3.
told. They're also like slippers. Like
There's the nightcap of
fourth.
Rex.
Secret fourth
There's a
slipper.
secret fourth item.
They're in stinky slippers.
You need to
can
have
ask-
Theron's
ask-
wristband.
We can ask where all of the items.
Yeah, you could ask where are the items in the
all
regalia?
regalia. Of
Where are all the items?
Where is the set of the regalia of Rex?
Yeah,
Darkon.
yeah.
yeah. What is the exact location of each item of the regalia of Rex?
Coordinates, longitude, latitude.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
a good.
Is that what you asked?
Yeah, I'll
I
get out
don't know if
get out
that's
my
what we're
sextant.
asking.
I think that's the best one we got.
Yeah.
Think so.
Okay, oh gosh, what's the exact location of each item of the regalia of Rex? We can provide you with a map we have of the area if that'll help ya.
Festra kind of smiles.
Did we break the game, John?
No, it's fine.
If one is back in Martira Bay, I'm gonna be so mad.
Hey, if John
In
didn't
the
want us to
undercrypt on
talk to
Pepper's
Festra,
body.
John wouldn't have brought Festra. So
And does she have any ashes to sell? You still haven't answered this question.
Any
Does she-
ashes?
Does he have some
I
pies?
don't remember what ashes we sold her.
I tried. Let me consult the records.
the notebook.
There was somebody's ashes that we tried to sell her in.
Oh,
Aberron.
that's a big marker.
Somebody's poisoned the water plate. Forgot about these episode titles.
So we
She-
have the crown and Death has the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Bot Scout.
So we've got 2 if 3 there be.
yeah.
Stars you've seen me. Festra is now opening a shop.
Banger. Theron goes wild on that fucking violin.
Yeah.
I didn't write down what ashes we sold her. I'm sorry, you guys. I failed.
What episode was it?
Ragnarok, episode 19.
That's
I
all the.
opened.
Wow.
I opened
throwback.
my book to it somehow.
Oh.
I had to consult the
Look at
sacred
their-
texts.
For those not in the know, they are looking at notes from our last campaign about
Technically, like 2 campaigns ago.
2 campaigns
Yeah.
ago to see
It
if they
all
can put
runs
together things
together.
about like my reoccurring NPCs.
No, I just have Festra and then Zneer and Lost are the next words that I just have to
Zneer.
scroll down.
She travels the plains for
Is it a
her
Thundercat?
wares.
And she lost Zneer.
Gave the ashes. Gave what ashes?
Zneer.
All I wrote
don't
was
know.
we gave her ashes.
The only ashes I remember up to that point are like your sisters.
Let's do
No,
it.
it was the
Was it Marlos?
it was,
Mar-
the
It was
dude.
Marlos. We turned him. We crumbled
Yeah.
Marlos into dust.
Yeah, we sold
It was
her
it was
Medusa's
Warlord
ashes.
ashes.
Yeah, that's what it was. I was like, why are they ashes? Who is valuable enough to sell ashes of? And she's like,
It
oh, I
was
could use
Marlowe's.
these.
Let's go.
That was literally the one before where we killed Tylenol.
Mhm.
Tylenol?
Sorry,
Long
what
story.
was his
Tylenol.
actual name? Because I kept writing his name as Tylenol.
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 Tylendal. Yeah.
Tylenol.
Tylenol.
I literally wrote his name as Tylenol so many
Like
times
an
in
edgy
my notes.
prince fight.
Yeah. You guys are making me make
Killed
decisions.
Marlowe's.
You don't have to do nothing. We're just fucking around with
No,
recurring
no.
characters as people always do.
Hey, she could be wrong.
She could be fucking with us to make her stay longer. Because she's trying to write the thing that we're trying to stop.
She says,
You know motives.
the robes of Rex are, you will find in Iluluk.
Oh, that's our next stop.
There is another item which could be considered regalia of Rex. In Nevuchar Springs, there is
Wait, where was that one more time?
Nevuchar Springs.
On the far right of the map.
There is an inheritance of the Rex to be found.
An inheritance?
Interesting.
And that was where?
At Nevuchar Springs. And I will say you guys have heard like a rumor before of Nevuchar Springs of a like new Dark Lord on the rise.
Oh yeah, something about someone who said her soul had lived a bunch of times.
Yes, there's like a sage.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I take note.
And then Festra closes her book, gives you a little head bow. Death kind of like he turns and pulls out a wand and says, "All right, which of you is getting it?"
What is it again?
Is it non-transferable?
The Hammer of Rex. Well, once I give it to you, it'll be very hard to. It is transferable. It's a magical artifact of sorts, but it's challenging, and it's best if I just go ahead and.
Is
Who's
it
taking?
It's cursed.
I'll
a
take it.
warhammer? Is it a what is it?
Rosemary will take it.
Ah, perfect. This might work out better. And he
Big
takes the.
smile, eyes angry as she holds her hand out.
He touches the wand to your chest, like to the armor of your chest.
That's not what she was holding.
And you feel like a you kind of like put your hand, he's like, oh, you want it there, and you feel like a burning in your hand as like this image of like a hammer, kind of like with the wings of the hammer almost in the shape of like wings almost, like sears into your hand, like this kind of like tattoo that like
I thought it was just a wand that I could throw it to someone else.
yes, this is like sears. You can like feel the pain. You actually take 4
Eight.
fire damage.
I was gonna take it.
Just take 18 d10 lava damage.
Not again. Does my heavy armor master? No, never mind.
No, not this. And you can kind of like see like the hammer, like the bottom of it kind of like almost goes down and like begins or wraps around, like bands around your arm like 3 times.
Oh, that's not what I was expecting.
Yes, I know.
You could have warned me.
It's not as fun.
You're right, I could have.
Yes,
Your
that's true.
fun is rude, and you're rude.
Okay, well, I think you're rude. I'm leaving.
Well, you know what? I'm only rude because
He's
you're
done with our
rude.
shit. He's so done with us. No, you're rude.
No,
Oh,
you.
I love it.
Goodbye.
I said good day.
I said
Fuck
good
this, I'm
day.
deaf.
I don't have
Okay.
to deal with this.
So you said this is transferable, though?
Yes.
I went to Juilliard.
I went to Juilliard. Okay, so now I have a tattoo. Mother's not gonna be happy about that. I didn't tell her I was getting any tattoos.
Oh my
Fuck.
god. Death like waves and says, "Come along, Festra."
You're invited to the family reunion because for some weird reason you want to see all my sisters. I think there's already 2 there. If I'm doing my math right.
I don't want to see all of your sisters. I only want to see you, but not
I'm
you.
right here.
No, it's not the
You don't
same.
make
It's not the
sense.
same.
Take your stupid scarf, and I throw it at him.
Oh, thank you. And he he takes it, and you see he kind of does a little magic, doing a little mending spell, putting it all back together as he puts it
It
back
looks
around his neck.
lovely on you. Those colors are complementary.
I appreciate it. I shall remember you for the rest of my days.
Thank you. Same.
And you kind of see there's this moment. I think anybody with a passive insight of 13 or higher would catch that he
Oh,
is
14.
he's doing this thing where he's like, I'll remember you for the rest of my days, and almost looks like he's looking for a name to say, but he can't quite remember the name that he's supposed to say in this moment, and turns and walks out.
I will supply dill pickle.
That's an.
Oh, okay.
It feels like a very.
Deal?
I don't think that's for me. That feels like a nickname. That's
We've been
for-
bamboozled again.
I thought you wanted me to know that.
I mean, I did, but I'm not gonna sit here and call you dill pickle.
Yeah, that feels wrong.
It does. See, it's not a good fit. Good luck with the mists. And he kind of steps out, and he kind of before he the door is open, and you kind of see the mist hovering at the door. And he takes a step at this kind of wall of mist, some of it kind of barely overflowing into the hall a little bit. He says, I can feel the shroud humming, vibrating. It's going to get very interesting for you here. Good luck. And he steps into the mists. Festra kind of walks after him. She turns, does a little wave. She says,
Oh, we did. That was all
We
that.
like her.
We all just.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck with your book.
And
The scarf looks good on ya.
thank you. I appreciate it. And she turns around and walks into the mist, kind of flapping her cloak a little bit.
Cloak of Billowing. So cool.
Dude, it's the best item in the game.
German only.
I think I have the cloak of billowing, don't I?
You do.
do.
Sully does have a cloak of billowing.
It's the best item.
So good.
It's just billowing in her character art we have going on.
Any bonus action you want, you can just make your cloak billow.
Look cool.
Even in combat.
It'd be better if it was a free action.
I'm gonna
It
start
would.
doing that every time we go into
Palad-
battle.
Paladins
Just
don't have that
pulling
many.
it out.
Paladins
Yeah.
don't have that many bonus actions, to be fair.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What?
Why
I
is
What?
don't like
Pick
that.
up.
No, I don't like that.
As Death steps into the mist, Festra following. you hear several steps outside, and the shroud shifts and begins falling into the hall of the lower floor of the keep.
Can I close the door?
You can.
Oh no.
The last thing we see,
That averted.
we see Rosemary rush over, close the door, and the mist seep through the cracks,
Oh, damn it.
beginning to fill the room as you hear the sound of undead moving outside the keep.
This just keeps happening.
This is an asshole, I tell you.
Yeah, you know, I
This,
have
this
to
is why
agree.
I've
I have to agree
stayed
with
away
that.
from him.
And that's where we're going to end our campaign tonight. Thank you, everybody, for
Oh,
following
good
along.
End our
That's-
campaign.
that's the
That's
end
where
of the
we're gonna end our
campaign.
campaign.
That's it.
That's it. We tried.
That's it. We failed.
We only had 15 episodes.
Whoops.
That's a
That's-
wrap.
They needed
Damn,
20s to
Dargon.
convince death, and they only got 19, so here we
rough.
are.
Happens
None
to
of
the
us
best
trained
of
in
us.
persuasion.
No.
Vibe check failed.
Next time we'll find out as the shroud fills in Shrouder Keep. Will our heroes thrive? Will they even survive? Will they take a dive into the mist? Until next time, good night, everybody.